You know that feeling when you check your bank account and your stomach just drops? That moment where you thought you were doing okay, and then reality hits you like a freight train. Maybe it's the end of the month and you're wondering where every single dollar went. Maybe you're staring at a number on your screen that makes you feel embarrassed, even though nobody else is watching. That feeling is real. And if you've ever felt it, I want you to know something important right now. You are not alone. And more importantly, you are not broken. Here is what nobody tells you. The difference between people who struggle financially their entire lives and people who build genuine, lasting financial stability has almost nothing to do with how much money they make. It has everything to do with how they think about spending. And that one shift, that one tiny mental reframe, changes absolutely everything. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine two people. Both of them bring home the same paycheck every single month. One of them is constantly stressed, always feeling behind, always one unexpected bill away from a complete meltdown. The other one sleeps soundly at night. They go on trips. They don't panic when the car needs new tires. They're not rich. They're not lucky. They just learn something that most people never do. And before we go deeper into exactly what that is, I want to point something out. There are related programs linked down in the video description below. If you're someone who's serious about actually changing your financial situation and not just watching videos about it, go check those out now. The people who take action, while the motivation is fresh, are the ones who actually see results. The ones who say they'll do it later rarely do. That's just the truth.
Now back to the picture I was painting.
The person who sleeps soundly at night didn't get there by restricting every joy in their life. They didn't stop buying coffee or give up everything they love. What they did was start making intentional decisions instead of automatic ones. And that difference, intentional versus automatic, is where everything begins. Think about your own daily spending for a second. Not the big stuff, the small stuff. The stuff that feels so small it barely registers. The quick purchases, the subscriptions you forgot you had, the impulse buys when you're bored or stressed or just trying to feel something good for 5 minutes. Now add all of that up over a full year. The number might genuinely shock you. Research consistently shows that the average person has no accurate idea where a significant portion of their monthly income actually goes. We're not talking about a few dollars. We're talking about hundreds, sometimes thousands, quietly slipping away every single year. And here is where the pain gets really real. That money you didn't track, that money that disappeared without a trace, could have been the money that changed your life. It could have been an emergency fund that kept you from drowning when something went wrong. It could have been an investment that was quietly growing while you slept. It could have been the thing that meant you didn't have to say no to your family, didn't have to feel that shame, didn't have to lie awake at 3 a.m. running numbers in your head hoping they somehow add up differently this time. People who master smart spending don't just save money. Studies show that individuals who develop consistent intentional spending habits report dramatically lower stress levels, stronger relationships, better physical health, and significantly higher life satisfaction overall. The money piece matters deeply, but the ripple effects go so much further than a bank balance. Now let me break this down in a way that actually makes sense in real life. Smart spending is built on one foundational idea. Every dollar you spend is either working for you or working against you. There is no neutral territory. When you spend money on something that adds genuine value to your life, your health, your growth, your peace of mind, that is money working for you. When you spend money on something that you barely remember a week later, something that was just filling a moment of emptiness, that is money working against you. The goal is not to eliminate spending. The goal is to make more of your spending intentional and meaningful. This is where something remarkable starts to happen. When people begin tracking their spending with intention, something almost immediately shifts, not because they suddenly have more money, but because awareness changes behavior automatically. You don't even have to try that hard. The act of paying attention is itself transformative. Now here is something that high-income earners and financially stable people understand deeply that most people don't. They treat their future self like a real person who deserves to be taken care of. Most of us live almost entirely for right now. The future feels abstract and distant, so we make decisions that feel good in the moment and leave future us to deal with the consequences. But financially stable people have trained themselves to feel the future as real and present. They feel the relief of an emergency fund before they build it. They feel the freedom of having options before they have it. And that emotional connection to the future is what drives their present decisions. Here's a pattern interrupt for you. Imagine you had a version of yourself 5 years from now who had made every smart financial decision consistently. What would that version of you feel like to live as? What would a Monday morning feel like? What would a medical bill feel like? What would the holidays feel like? Hold that image for a second, because that version of you is not a fantasy. It is a very achievable reality for anyone willing to learn the right approach. The cost of not learning this, not the financial cost but the life cost, is enormous. Chronic financial stress is one of the leading causes of relationship breakdown. It contributes directly to anxiety, depression, and serious physical health conditions. It shortens the window of opportunity that your life represents. Every year that passes without this knowledge is a year of compounding loss, not just in dollars but in quality of life, in peace, in possibility. On the other side of this, the return on investment when someone genuinely learns smart spending principles is astonishing. People who implement these strategies consistently report building emergency funds in months that they previously couldn't build in years. They describe feeling a kind of freedom they had never felt before. Not because they suddenly became wealthy, but because they stopped feeling controlled by money and started feeling in control of it. Here is something authority figures in the personal finance world consistently agree on. The foundation is not income, it is behavior. Nobel-winning economists, leading behavioral finance researchers, and the most successful independent financial educators in the world all point to the same truth. The habits and psychology around money determine outcomes far more than the raw numbers do. This is why so many people who get raises, win money, or suddenly earn more end up exactly where they started financially within a short period of time. The numbers changed. The behavior didn't, and behavior always wins. So what does smart spending actually look like in practice? It looks like pausing before purchases and asking one simple question. Does this serve my future or just my right now? It looks like knowing exactly where your money goes every month without judgment, just awareness. It looks like building small, automatic systems that protect you from your worst impulses on hard days. It looks like understanding the difference between what you need, what you value, and what you're just reacting to. These are learnable skills, not talents, not gifts that some people have and others don't. Learnable skills that anyone can develop with the right guidance. And this is where I want to leave you with something real, not just inspiration that fades by tomorrow. The information in this video is a starting point. But the people who transform their financial lives don't just get information, they get structured guidance, proven systems, and a clear path forward. That is exactly what the programs linked below in the video description are designed to give you. Most people will watch this, feel something shift, and then let life pull them back to exactly where they are right now. A smaller group will decide that today is the day something actually changes. Those are the people who see results that feel almost unbelievable from the outside. If you are in that second group, go to the description right now and look at what is available, because the life that felt out of reach might be a lot closer than you think.